But Oregon has they dropped a little trailer for a sort of Hard Knocks type of thing that they're going to do internally.
Yeah, and it'll just be on their social media channels.
Yeah, it's called That Team Out West.
Can I just say, one, I saw the trailer for it. They did a real nice job with it. I love that Oregon is trying to play the underdog role again, that no one knows who they are. They're just the team out. You're picked second or third in the country.
They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins.
When can we stop with the no one knows who you are? Like what?
Well, what would you want them to? Because doesn't every coach
play no one
play this card like
no one knows who we are?
I mean, that's kind of how you have to. You have to flip the script. You have to make your team feel like an underdog, or slighted in some way, and you get more out of them that way.
They got Joel Klatt in the preview being like, "Everyone thinks about Oregon is just some like finesse team and flash." Couldn't be further from the truth.
Well, that is true, though.
I do think that perception exists. That they're more speed and style than they are big bullies.
That is still a thing, particularly with fans. I think teams know that they've gotten much tougher.
Teams have a better idea, but fan bases may not.
But I think going into the Big Ten, I do think there's that stigma with Big Ten fans that it's like Iowa fan or Wisconsin fans go, we're gonna punch those little ninnies in the mouth.
Except like when Wisconsin came out and played them in the Rose Bowl, they lost. Ohio State, Oregon went into Ohio State and ran the ball down their throat.
Yeah, but just because they won those games doesn't mean that the soft label or not as tough. Because, Big Ten, those guys think they're tougher than anybody.
Yeah.
Ground and pound.
They play in the cold. And they punt the ball a lot.
So
we got punts.
So, I mean, look, you're Dan Lanning. You got to use anything you can to get them. Because you are the hunted this year. You're not the hunter. You're the hunted. Yeah. And that's a different, I mean, that's.
And the name of the series is, and I guess I appreciate them leaning into that. It's called That Team Out West. As if everyone in the Big Ten is just saying that team out west.
Well, and people say it's maybe a shot at Ohio State specifically because they always are referred to Michigan as that team up north. So that's like, I don't know. It'd be an insult to them for stealing their little moniker.
Okay.
God, pushing buttons again. Oregon?
Well, he says, and Lanning says in the little trailer, he goes, we don't mind pushing buttons.
Yeah, he said that on the Pat McAfee show. He said, we don't mind ruffling feathers, getting people all fired. I'm not sure that's the best play, but okay. I mean, I see why they're cocky right now. They got a lot of swagger. They got a lot of stuff going for them.
Now you just got to win.
Exactly. See, I think you get cocky once you start winning, not before. I mean, not that they haven't been winning. I just mean
they haven't won anything.
Exactly.
In 2 years under Dan Lanning, as good as they've been, and they're building a ton of momentum. Again, Washington fan will be quick to remind you, what have you won exactly? Oh yeah, nothing.
Well, but we put a duck in a river, so
Hey, not just a duck, a giant one. Giant duck.
I'll tell you what, the Ducks are quickly trending towards being the most hated team in the Big Ten.
Oh yeah.
They are. Yeah. They're already kind of that guy.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know. It doesn't jive with my sensibilities, but I get it.
But I did say, and this is where I can appreciate like what Oregon's doing. If you go full villain, I said just last break, one of my favorite eras of college football were those two, is the 80s, and then we had the resurgence in the late 90s, those Miami teams. The, what was it, like the 7th Floor Crew, like with Ed Reed and all those guys, and then the original ones with Jimmy Johnson. I don't mind when someone does their own thing. I don't mind when someone just says, hey, you know what? Screw conventions, screw, the trying to play nice and no bulletin board material. F you. We're going to do it our way, and we're going to come into your house, and we're going to kick your ass and do something about it. Now, I will say it's also hilarious when it backfires. One of the great bits of all time in college football was before basically the de facto national title game. Vinny Testaverde, Jerome Brown, that Miami team, they were set to play Penn State, boring-ass Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl, and they were having a big team dinner where the teams were supposed to dine together. And Miami waited for Penn State to sit down in their shirt and tie at the tables. And Miami all came in Army fatigues.
Oh,
yeah, they all got off the plane in Army fatigues.
They all dressed up in Army fatigues. And I don't remember, I think it might have been Jerome Brown or Vinny, one of the leaders of the team, went to the front of the ballroom.
Space Force.
And said, basically, Patton didn't sit down with the enemy before World War whatever. We're not sitting down with you. Dropped the mic, and Miami got up and left.
It's in that the documentary. Yeah, they all marched in, made one statement, and marched out.
Oh no, oh no.
The only problem was
That's stupid.
Penn State beat.
What was the score?
It was close. DJ Joser scored a touchdown right at the end, and there was like a big fumble. But yeah, Penn State got him. Which again, I don't mind. Like, hey, you're gonna go in and you're gonna talk your ass. Now you just got to go back it up. And those Miami teams are really good. But what I love about that is that when you get a villain, if Oregon leans into this and just does the I don't care, dude, we're coming in to not ask permission. We're kicking down the damn door. It's great because if you back it up, you're just a John Wick mother effer that came in there and assassinated everybody. And if not, it's still entertaining because then you look like an ass clown and you go into the Big Ten and you get your ass kicked. There's still a great story there of like, well, the bravado.
You get clown until you figure it out.
Exactly. Like, so either way, I think it's great theater. And I appreciate when we have great villains. And I'm not saying Oregon's going full villain, but I like the leaning into ruffling feathers.
They kind of are a villain no matter what. Like a text on the Vancouver Ford text line says, even Oregon fans have to acknowledge how Oregon is more hateable than the average team because new money, rich owner, built on flash, etc. In the uniform thing. Yeah. It's true. I mean, even if they weren't cocky themselves, like they said all the right things and were really buttoned up, there's a lot about that program that and it comes from jealousy, make no mistake. Yeah. But other programs they dislike. Yeah. So you're right. They're leaning into it. We'll see if it pays off. Bold strategy. I don't know. But their bit is called That Team Out West. Yeah. And they're gonna drop a new one on their social media channels each Tuesday in August. So there will be 4 episodes in all.
I'll watch them.
It'll cover camp. I will too. I love stuff like this. And now look, it's gonna be super sanitized.
Oh yeah, and make Dan Lanning look like the king of the world and Oregon to be the toughest team in the world. But it will be entertaining to watch.
I did say that, or I saw an interview with the guy who did it. One of the I don't know, video guys there. And he said, we do get into some personal stories. Like they go with Dan Lanning to his coach's retreat.
Yeah, the coach's retreat.
They go to with Dylan Gabriel. Didn't he take his offensive line
down to the beach? It looked like they were on the beach kind of working out, maybe down with the Goonie rocks in the back.
Yeah, the whoever the video guy is said, yeah, we even in some cases followed kids home to when they were going back before camp and figured out things about their lives and stuff like that.
See, I think that's cool.
Yeah, me too.
Not just promotional, but getting to know. Yeah. I think that's really smart move.
And one of my favorite things is Lanning has the great clip that gets played all the time of they're fighting for clicks.
We're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins.
No one's fighting for clicks more than Oregon, and they do a great job with it.
No, Colorado's fighting for clicks. More clicks.
More clicks. Oregon is doing a really, really good job of getting the brand. The difference is that Oregon doesn't suck. Colorado does.
Well, and I also think it's Lanning.
They do a good job.
Lanning is he's embracing it. He's letting him do it. I don't think Cristobal would really be all into this.
Well,
we just roll, brother.
This is a great point, and I'm not saying this out of revisionist history or because we talked to Dan Lanning, because we talk to Mario Cristobal every week, and we've talked to Dan Lanning every week. From a neutral observer, oh my God, Dan Lanning is both are red asses, both are very intense. Dan Lanning is 1,000 times more likable and personable than Mario Cristobal. It's not even close. It's not even close. And so I enjoy Coach Lanning, and I think what Oregon's doing is fun. I just think sometimes the messages get a little crossed, but that's okay. In this era, what you're doing is working, because in today's college football world, you really do have to fight for clicks, because look, recruiting is a popularity contest.
And he knows that's why Lanning.
Yes,
that's why he's all about it.
Yeah, and those battles get won and lost on social media now. They just do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot remember a football season of college that I was more excited about than this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
This is going to be really fun.
Yeah, let's go.
And Kansas is going to win it all.
Hey,
what?
Hey, when did you?
Because they're pretty good.
What did you predict? Was it the 2030? When was the national?
2075.
2075.
Are you on board?
Just
the
a little
slow rolling train.
A little ahead of schedule, but
Hey, we're going to be pretty good this year. Big 12 is going to be fun too, because it's like they're all the teams are the same.
There was an article today saying that the Big 12 is so wide open. In fact, I think Utah, if I'm not mistaken, is picked to win it.
Plus 300.